Hey class, Mr. Houston here, and today we are talking about Chapter 1, Lesson 4, and we are diving into angles. First off, what is an angle? An angle is two different rays with the same endpoint. That endpoint that they speak of is known as a vertex. The sides of an angle are the rays, and congruent angles are two angles who have the same angle measure. So let's jump right into example number 1. Example 1 wants us to name three angles in the diagram. Couple ways to name an angle. The most common way to name an angle is to name it by the points on its sides and its vertex. So if I'm talking about this red angle right here, I can call that angle WXY or angle YXW. Notice one key thing here, and that is that X always has to be in the middle. X in this case is what's known as the vertex. And the vertex always has to go right in the center. And then the points before and after the vertex are the points on the rays. So in this case, W and Y, you alternate them on either side of X. So that's one angle. Another angle would be this blue angle here. Again, that X is still going to be in the middle, so YXZ or angle ZXY. Now you're probably asking, they asked us to name three angles in here. The third angle is both of them together, so this bigger angle here on the outside, so WXZ or angle ZXW. This little symbol right here just as a way for us to say angle without writing out the word angle. Okay? So these are three ways that you can write an angle in this diagram. Just know that when we start going over answers and stuff, if you have these three letters, as long as your X is in the middle, your W and Y can be on either side, and that would be a correct answer. Alright, so there's four types of angles that we are going to talk about. You have an acute angle, which hopefully you guys know is less than 90. The right angle, which will be marked by this, or they will actually write in there, just to kind of throw you off, they'll actually write 90 degrees. You have an obtuse angle, which is greater than 90, and then you have a straight angle, which it's in the name, a straight line, 180 degrees. So just like the ruler postulate, we have a protractor postulate, which just says that we can put an angle on a protractor, measure it out, and we can figure out what the measure of that angle is. Notice when you're doing this, though, that if this angle opens up like this, you're starting from 0 here and going this way. This angle is at 140, not a 40-degree angle. That is if we started from here and went up. But we're going from here to here. Okay? Alright, so use the diagram to find the measure of the indicated angle, then classify the angle. So the very first one is KHJ. So I'm going to draw KHJ. So I'm going to look, we are at 0. We're going all the way up here. I'm going to say that one is a 55-degree angle. And anything that's less than 90 is known as an acute angle. Next one is GHK. So G to H to K. Now I got to start here on 0 on the outside, and I'm going to work my way up here, and I'm going to say it's 125 degrees. And that's greater than 90 but less than 180, so that makes it obtuse. Alright, next one is GHJ, so straight across. So hopefully you remember that a straight angle is 180 degrees. It's known as a straight angle. And the last one, GHL. So GHL is 90 degrees, which is a right angle. Okay? Hopefully none of that is too new to you. Just know how to read a protractor when you are measuring your angles. Alright, flip over to the back side. Just like segment addition, we also have angle addition. Alright, angle addition just means that I can add these two smaller angles together, the green one and the red one, and it will give me this entire big angle on the outside. Alright? So let's put that into play here for example number 3. It says, given that the measure of angle LKN, so LKN, so the big angle is 145, we will need to find the measure of the two smaller angles. So using the angle addition postulate, I can take this and add them together. So we're going to say 2x plus 10 plus 4x minus 3 equals 145. Make sure to combine your like terms. We get 6x plus 7 equals 145. Subtracting 7 on both sides, you get 6x equal to 138. Dividing by 6, x in this case is equal to 23. Now, we're not looking for x. It doesn't say find x. It says find the measure of the two interior angles. So we're going to find the measure of this one and the measure of this one. So let's start off with 2x plus 10. You plug in 23 wherever you see x. You get 46 plus 10, and that is equal to 56. So this one is 56 degrees. Two ways to find the next one. The next one you can plug in x again, 23 for x, and simplify it down. Or if you know the entire angle is 145 and one of them is 56, you can take 145 minus 56, and you can figure out what that green angle is. So that becomes a 15, that becomes a 3, that's a 9, 13, a 0, 89. So this should be 89 degrees. Okay, so it's just like segment addition, except now we're talking about angles. You add them together, set them equal to the larger one. Okay, we're just going to talk real briefly about this, and what we're going to talk about in this example are these arc marks right here. So whenever you see arcs like this, that's one way of saying that an angle is congruent to another angle. So as I look at this, I can easily see that this angle right here is congruent to this angle right here. I can also see that because this has two double marks, that angle is congruent to this angle over here. So just know that if we want to talk about congruent angles, you're going to see either an angle measure, you're going to see them write a number, or you'll see an arc over that angle. Okay, if you see two arcs, then you have to look for two arcs. One arc, you'll look for one arc. It's just like the tick marks we used for line segments. Okay. All right, and the last example, example number 5, it says in the diagram at the right, YW bisects angle XYZ. Bisects. Remember that word from the last section? Bisects means to cut into two equal parts. Okay. We know that the measure of angle XYW, X, this one right here, is equal to 18 degrees. Find the measure of XYZ. So they want to know the big angle right here. Well, we can do one of two things. First thing we have to notice is that we have these congruent symbols right here. So if that means that the top part is 18 degrees, that means this bottom part is also 18 degrees. So to figure out the measure of angle XYZ, we're going to take 18 plus 18, and we're going to get 36 degrees. Also, if you know the smaller one, you can also take it and multiply it times 2, and you'll still get 36 degrees. Okay? So that's a little bit about angles. Hopefully you understand how to find a congruent one, how an angle bisector works, and how to add together and set equal to a larger angle. If you have any questions, bring them with you to class, and we will see you then.